That one?
Right.
And that one. Two of them. It's like I've driven through B&Q or something. This video is going to be about whether or not it's realistic for you to be able to fix a punctured car tyre yourself. And to get straight to the point, yeah, it's realistically something that anyone can do. No specialised skill is needed. Doesn't take a lot of strength. It takes a small amount, but not a lot. It's very much something that anyone can do. Just want to pop a few caveats in there for safety. Keep children away from the situation, of course, especially if you're going to be jacking the car up, lifting the car up, of course. You don't want kids near that area. You want the car to be lifted safely. Make sure you're comfortable with lifting a car up or changing the car tyre first. If you can change a car tyre, you can do this basically. Alright. So this is about puncture repair, and yeah, it is a DIY thing. Just quickly why I'm doing this myself. I've had a couple of punctures that have been repaired historically by different tyre companies, and the puncture repair hasn't really been up to standard. The slow puncture has returned afterwards, and people might say just buy a new tyre. There's no need to buy a new tyre when your tyre is perfectly good and has plenty of life left in it. In those situations, just repair the puncture, and if you can do it yourself, even better. This kit that I bought, I'll put in the link in the description. Okay, so you can just buy it from the link there. And I was able to buy this kit for the cost of one puncture repair, and I can do about 10 with this kit. So yeah, let's carry on. Alright guys, that's how the bubbles should appear if you've got a puncture. If you've got a puncture, this is how the bubbles should appear. I'm not sure how well you could hear me because of the wind noise in that part of the video. What I've done there is I've just poured some soapy water onto it. So I've gone inside the house, I've got a little container of water, a little cup, and I've popped some fairy in there, and I'm not even like mixed it, I've just swished it around a little bit, and I'd left that just down near the car while I was jacking it up and removing the tyre. And then I've done nothing apart from remove the tyre, and then I've poured that soapy water onto the hole, and yeah, you get like a million bubbles, a gazillion bubbles straight away, like tiny ones. So it's pretty easy to see where the actual puncture is. Alright, it's just soapy water, simple, don't care about temperature, nothing else. A little bit of like washing up liquid does the trick. The other one that I had over here somewhere, just there, isn't bubbling, so I'm not going to worry about it. But look at that. Wow. There's the situation. I'd pulled that screw out using some wire cutters. You should use pliers really, but I just felt like I could get good purchase on the head of the actual screw there and just yank it out. End of the day, use basically whatever works for you. Pliers are good. Whatever you can get under that head of the nail or screw or whatever is stuck in there, pliers will pull out most things. Out of there. Out of there. Came out of there. Whole thing was inside. Fair enough. The other thing that was in the car was this. I'll show you one sec. The other thing was this one. This was like in an angle though, not all the way in, so that's great, isn't it? Great. Then you get this screwdrivery thing, and you got to push it in and out. So I've only got two hands, unlike some of you guys. This like hand drill screwdriver device is pretty important when it comes to this repair. You can get it and screw it into the hole if you struggle to push it directly in. Alright, you can screw it in there and then pull it back out. But what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to push it in and pull it back out again. The idea here is to clean the hole and make it into like a circular hole as opposed to a jagged one. So you're almost controlling the environment which is about to be repaired or filled. Okay. What I did here was I'd like screwed it in a little bit and then pushed it in, then pulled it back out. I hadn't done it very many times. It was like 3 times maximum that it was pulled back out. So not a lot. By that point I was quite confident that it was the hole was prepped and ready. So I'll try and show you this. To be honest, I could leave that in there, it'd be right, couldn't I? Look at that, look at that. Right, that is, where is it now? That is going for it. Absolutely going for it now. So while that's going on, over here, apparently what I've got to do, I've got to, apparently this is tyre cement or something, even though it's not lit. Oh, you can't see it. Apparently this is tyre cement, or at least the guide says apply tyre cement, and this stuff is called, focus, any chance of focus? Tyre sealant. So I assume it's that. Why is it not focusing? Forget about it. It's called tyre sealant, guys. The tyre sealant is a bit weird. It's not glue. It's a bit strange. It's like sticky, but it's not glue though. So don't worry about it in terms of getting it on your fingers and stuff like that. Of course, avoid it. Avoid things like this getting onto your skin. It got on my fingers and it was like a almost oily, sticky thing. I wasn't concerned about it. But yeah, just read the packaging and safety stuff and follow those guides, alright. Later on you'll see that it had like spilt across parts of the tyre, and I wasn't concerned about it. I didn't clean it up or wipe it off. After a few days of driving I could see that some stones and stuff had stuck to that. Again, not concerned, not worried. But yeah, tyre sealant or tyre cement, whatever that is. So that's that, and now let's get some of it moving, see what's going on here. We're going to put it into this. Basically, I'm going to put one of these rubber things into this, put some of that stuff all over that, and maybe some of this stuff on the end of this, and then push it in and pull it out. Wish me luck, guys. Alright guys, wish me luck. I've put the thing on. Those bits you can see on it, that's paper. It was stuck to the paper. I tried to get as much paper off as possible. Oh, there we go. This rubber thing, guys, is actually one of the trickiest parts of the repair. What you're looking at there is like a stick of rubber, and it's weird. It's like it's raw rubber in a way. It's very gooey and sticky, and it's as if you want to keep that stickiness on that rubber thing. But like, man, I had dirty hands, like tyre hands and stuff. So when I'm touching it, it's kind of becoming less and less sticky as I'm dealing with it, and it's going from that weird brown colour to like black because of the dirt off my hands, isn't it? Like handling the tyre and stuff, yeah. Not only that, but when you pull it off the storage thing that it comes with, like paper on one side and plastic on the other, when you pull it off that takes some effort. That takes some effort, guys. It was really sticky. Like, you pull it apart and it's like something you see in a film, like that weird rubbery stretchy stuff. Do you know, like when somebody pulls a fake face off in like Mission Impossible and it's got that sticky rubbery stuff that pulls back? It's like that, but really hard. So just bear that bit in mind. When I started pulling it apart, the plastic part started to come off, okay, but on the other side, because of how long it took, and like I'm like sick of this, I basically ripped it off the paper. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start pulling this paper off as I go. The paper wasn't coming off. I got like some, you know, like them snips, plier snips type things. So it's like really strong scissors basically. And I started cutting the paper off the rubber. In doing that, I'm losing some rubber here. So this repair might not work. If you can, just try and get it off that paper stuff better than I did. Alright. But yeah, that bit's tricky. Takes a bit of strength, that bit does. A bit weird. Again, Still perfectly DIYable. Worst case scenario, cut it like I did. It's going to be fine. Wish me luck's going to go in there now, see what happens. Alright, so full transparency, I think I pushed too much of it inside. Like, I'm supposed to put about have a third sticking out and then cut it, but I've pushed too much inside. At this point, I've pushed it in, and that liquid that you can see is the sealant. I have added no extra. That sealant I had placed on the tool itself, on the metal part, and across the rubber stick that I had inserted there. So yeah, I pushed it in. I felt like I pushed it in a bit too far. One thing I'd say is when you do push that rubber in, you don't have to twist the device. Just push it in. You probably will twist it naturally yourself. It's quite natural to twist it if something isn't going in there correctly. But yeah, just push it in. Don't worry about twisting. And then when you're happy with how far it's gone, pull it back really quick and hard, and it'll come off. To be honest, even pulling it back didn't really take much strength, to be honest, guys. I just yanked it out it came, no issues. It's like the tyre is still strong enough to resist you ripping it or damaging it further. Just won't happen. Push it in, get it decent length in there, and pull it out. We're good to go. Should be right, innit? Oh, and it came back out quite easy. My advice is to do this while the tyre still has some pressure. If it's got some pressure, it'll be easier for you to push it in. Alright, it's back on there now. You're supposed to do the soapy water test, but I'm gonna do that, like give it a few days, a bit of a drive first, I think, before I do that. I mean, it's got liquid all over it right now, and that looks fine. You know what I'm saying? So it should be alright. Yeah, so far so good. The tyre's been on there for about a week now, and it showed no issues with pressure. It's looking just as solid, just as firm as a brand new tyre, to be honest. Running perfectly fine, everything is smooth, good and strong. So yeah, I'll put the link for this kit in the description. And again, for the cost of like one puncture repair, I've been able to fix, or I will be able to fix it 10 times over if needed. It's one of those where it's a case of if you want a job doing right, then do it yourself, you know what I mean? And yeah, this is very much doable by yourself. I wouldn't be concerned about it. In fact, once you've done it once, twice maybe, you might want to keep that kit in the car. It's not very heavy, it's not going to affect fuel consumption really, and you've got your jack in the car anyway. You might have your tyre inflator in there, I do. So you've got the full kit there to fix a puncture. You might even be able to fix somebody else's. So there you go. Very doable, very much DIYable. So get yours, get it fixed, and take it easy. For now, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See you later.